Welcome back to another episode of the YouSchool podcast. I am Scott Schimmel, and I know what you're thinking. Where has he been? I subscribe to the YouTube channel. I subscribe to the audio podcast. I pay attention to every email. I haven't seen this guy on the internet for months. That's really been weeks. And I know because I keep getting all these fan letters. We got to get more episodes out. So here I am. I'm back. In the meantime, I've had COVID. Then I had the flu. I've got 3 kids, and I got a bunch of projects that we're working on, particularly for YouSchool as it relates to identity formation. Our primary goal and mission is to help give parents and educators the tools they need to guide their kids to become self-aware, self-guided, self-driven adults. And the number one threat to that are these guys, phones. Not just phones, but social media particularly. So we're working on a bunch of projects coming out sometime in the future that are very exciting to me because I think it could do a lot of good. I'm so passionate about guiding kids to clarity, and I want to do everything we can to do that well. So love to hear your thoughts. What are your main concerns about social media as it relates to kids? And what could you do if you could wave a magic wand and do anything? And if the restriction is you can't say, keep them off it forever. They're going to have it. So how do we prepare them for it? How do we even leverage and use social media for their good, for their clarity and self-awareness? I don't know. Those are the questions we're asking. But today's episode, I want to help you think through expectations and how to put on the right kind of expectations to your kids and avoid the wrong kind. Because there's 2 kinds of expectations. One is very, very good, like vegetables. And one is very, very bad, like junk food. And I think without really discerning the difference, we parents inadvertently give our kids the wrong kind of expectations and forget to give them the right ones. So let's first talk about the wrong kinds of expectations, the expectations that your kids do not need. Your kids do not need you to pressure them to choose a path in life as it relates to their college choices or their career choices. And in fact, research has proven, check out self-determination theory. And if you want some long research papers and articles, I will send them to you. I've got a library full of them. Well, there's proof, statistical proof, that to the degree that a kid feels pressured by their parents to pick a path, will directly correlate to 2 things that we do not want for them. Number 1, they will not persist as long. They will not achieve as much. They will not be as successful. That's the first one. Secondly, it will not be as fulfilling as it could be, which I would call happiness. So if you are inadvertently, you might not even be aware of it, if you are even inadvertently giving your kids expectations to choose something that you've prioritized, you've valued for them because of great reasons, concern for their welfare, you feel like you know who they are. But if you're dialing up the intensity of expectations around that particular path in life, or choose this college, or choose this major, or pick this job, you will be making an impact, a bad impact on their success and on their happiness. Even the families that don't do that in a kind of direct, clear way. I grew up in a family where no one sat me down and said, hey, we want you to do this and we want you to avoid that. But I still picked up the message along the way that if I were to choose a path in life, the preferable, more valued, more valuable, more respected path would be this narrow one. And I could see into the future. I could project and predict into the future when I was 21 years old that I'd turn into an unfulfilled, unsuccessful grown-up. And I got off that track, which is my primary driver for why I'm running YouSchool, because I want to help kids avoid that. And I know, and you know, many people, most people, who choose something because they felt pressure to do it. And it has directly impacted their fulfillment and directly impacted their success. So do not put pressure on them. Instead, what do? Your role as a parent is to help your kid feel seen, heard, understood, and validated. Seen, heard, understood, and validated. So you are a mirror to them. You are curious about them. You are a cheerleader and celebrate them in their interests, in the things they're drawn to. Intrinsic desire, is what you're looking for. You are a student of it. You are an explorer for it. You're a spelunker. You're trying to figure out every which way you can to understand and validate and affirm your kids' unique intrinsic interests, things that they're drawn to and why. And don't just take the face value. Try to get 5 layers deep. Those kinds of expectations where kids feel like you got to go down this path, or this is where the jobs are, this is what your uncle did, or here's what your uncle did and it ruined them, so that's why you don't want to go down that path, you want to go down this other path. Those sorts of conversations, even though you are well-intentioned, because you care about their security, their stability, you care about them, you care about their welfare, you don't want to see them go through failures or setbacks, you don't want them to take on too much risk. Those are all good reasons, which is why they need your help to explore and understand their interests. It's really rare for me to run into a kid who's identified their own intrinsic interests. It's almost every single time as I get to know that kid, they will point back to an adult who has affirmed it in them, given them more opportunities to explore that interest, given them resources to explore that interest, introduce them to people, open up their aperture. It's you have a critical role to play. So be extremely curious about their natural wiring and intrinsic desires. That's what you're there for. Number 2. Okay, so that's bad kind expectations. We don't put bad expectations on our kids. And yet, kids actually respond well to high expectations. That sounds nuts, doesn't it? Because I just said, don't give them expectations. No, it's a different kind of expectations. This comes from best in class, best research parenting styles. It's called authoritative parenting. And there's different kinds, and I'll link to articles we've done before, episodes we've done before on authoritative parenting. And the reason I like it is because it has complete overlay and application, not just to parenting, but to coaching, youth sports coaching, teaching, education, any work directly with someone else. If you're mentoring someone, if you're supervising someone, authoritative parenting it's the gold. Kids respond well when they have high expectations matched with, this is authoritative parenting. Kids respond well to high expectations matched with high level of support. And support was all the stuff I was talking about before. Care, interest, curiosity, affirming, seeing, hearing, understanding, validating. That's supportive behavior. Matched with the right kinds of expectations, which are, I believe in your potential. I believe what's possible in you is more than you're able to see. High expectations means I have high expectations for your behavior. I have high expectations for your perseverance. I have high expectations for your intensity. I have high expectations for you to be engaged, to take initiative, to be engaged with your life. I expect you to do that. I expect you to be responsible for yourself. I expect you to care for others. I expect you to align to our family values and principles. I expect you to be a good human and look out for the little guy. Those kinds of expectations kids flourish under. Bad expectations, this is what I think you should do. This is what we will be pleased with. This is what we'll fund. If you go to this college, then we'll fund it. If you go to that, we won't. If you choose this major, we'll support you. If this major, we'll probably turn our backs on you or criticize you or challenge you. Bad expectations. Good expectations, there's more. I want more for you. I want more from you. So I want to hear from you. Please give us a review. That would be super cool because we're trying to spread the word on this. Shoot me an email, put a comment on a YouTube video, send me an email, send me a message on Instagram at the YouSchool. All the stuff is at the YouSchool: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. My email is scott@theschool.com. I want to hear from you. In what ways are you navigating giving your kids the right kind of expectations and avoiding the wrong ones? And what's your story? Who are the people that expected a lot from you, but not a specific path for you? And what kind of impact did they make on your life? I'd love to hear those stories. So no promises that I'll be back next week with another episode, but I will be back. Promise you that. And more to come.